ngithole izolomfowethu hayi bafowethu kanti imnandi kanje umukadwa kanti imnandi kanje umukadwa ngizoke ngithathe ibreak kancane bese ngiyema ngizoke ngithathe ibreak kancane bese ngiyema ngizoke ngithathe ibreak kancane bese ngiyema ngizoke ngithathe ibreak kancane.
Awusuka madoda ethi ngizoke ngithathe ibreak yami yazi yamnandi into emnandi yaphindwa uyela ke lapha usiphithiphithi umfoka Dlamini uthi yazi yamnandi lento ngicela siphinde la kodwa into emnandi yaphindwa ngicela uphinde isithatha sami. Good evening, good people. Happy Monday, happy freaking Monday. It's your boy, Brada Nxewu Nqoba Dlamini ma-7 zashikho mthinzi athunga bulalele insizwa yacande simagaka omsengilele ngoba amamini akhahlela ivica udubandle ongagezanga ubule nsile fulo lagezanga bavona bafukateka. Siqunge sihle singahlalanyana ngoba zonazalela amasakabulu bathi Nxewu ndoda axikiza amadoda ngamanxeba axhumisa amaxoxa jika nqapha. Ukhozo lumaphiko ndizela phezulu ezinyo ndizela phansi. Xoshela thelela nkomo zona zasinto mqhakazo. Awusuka madoda indodana kampristi. Umzukulu kaKhathithof. Yes. Ningangiboni ngimfishane nami ngizalwa indoda ezalwa indoda emfishane bathi uKhathithof uxubha kweyukala bamgeza into emzimfuna zonke noma sesusindisiwe yenina Nxewu udaqo kaningi beke iviki neviki. It's NK1 Show ngisuke ngahambi ke ngado ngoba nibona nani ukuthi ngihamba with the most beautiful lady in the whole world and she goes by the name of Mira on the wall. Hello Mira.
Hello. Salmonani, Dumelang, Molweni. How's it? Hi guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight's show. Niyazi kuzwa mnandi njengenjalo hlezi kumnandi guys. Niyazi village, so thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you share the live. Make sure that you tag your friends on the comment section and make sure that you comment, ask questions, share your thoughts because we want to hear what you have to say about tonight's topic. Kuzwamnandi guys, so stay tuned, share the live, and yeah, you guys are in for a treat.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much, Mirabel. We are having inkinga nje encane, just a small crisis. Inkinga nje ngatheni i-guest yethu ine-load shedding, but if egcina ngokuthi angafiki, she won't stop us guys. Thina sizoqhubeka sikhulume vele la kunama last bonds lana kunama first bonds, so ama-experiences akhona soqhubeka nje sixoxe along with you guys, so please do share ama-comments enu. It's uyabuza noma une-experience, please do share it for us ukuze sizoyifunda and then mase siyalungada lolo daba lolo, because today is all about being in relationship with a first or a last born, whether you are married or near date. Ngoba vele near date nina vele. So whether you are married or you are not married guys, so long you have a partner, a last born noma a first born, we just want to hear your experience. We just want to hear ukuthi how is it like to have someone or a last born noma or a first born. Ngeke ngabona ama comments ke ngesikhathi nginilanda lapha for engagement on the other post last week. Ngabona ukuthi abanye bathi bathandana nama last bonds. I cha, they are sports brats, they are childish. So we are willing to hear those comments guys. Please do share, mention people if you know people abashadile noma bathandanayo, mhlawumbe omunye uyi-last born, omunye uyi-first born, noma ama-last born bobo-2 noma ama-first born bobo-2, whatever it is, please mention them sizoxoxa la. And-ke nami-ke bafethu ngiyi-first born, so ngizonitshela-ke nami ukuthi okay noma ngizolanda umama ngimtshela umama, ngithi akezela, ngithi mama ngicela ubacela ukuthi njengoba uthandana ne-first born yini ithini experience yakho. uthi uswayini Mirabel?
Ngi-last born. No, sisalaba yamama lo ozolanda.
Oye ngizolanda umama hawu. So Maya, is it true as a last born, because mina ngiyi-first born, as a last born, well okay mina ngingasho angibe specific, ngiyi-first born emshadweni kamani ubaba, because ubaba uney'ngane ngaphandle eziwu-34 and then uma siba u-5 kuma, so emshadweni siba u-3, so emshadweni I am a first born. So abantu ngiyazi abantu abathi hayi bo Nxewu ngiyamanje usisi wakho omdala, hayi bo Nxewu ngiyabazi osisi bakho abawu-3 laba abanye abahle abadala, uqonda ukuthini uma usuyi-first born. So yeah, Mirabel, are you guys spoiled? Are you guys spoiled as ama-last borns? Because ama-comments la ngawabona nje ukuthi nje indaba ethi hey mina I'm in love with the last born, ayi cha shame, ama-spoiled brats labantu, they still even expect ukuthi babe ama-spoiled brats even kwama-relationships noma emshadweni. Is that true?
You know what? Obviously, guys, and I know abantu abaningi, some will say ukuthi abantu abafani, but there's always an exception to every rule, right? So you're gonna find i-last born mhlampe enakuba responsible, engekho spoiled, because sikhuliswa ngendlela ehlukene. But for the most part, indlela esikhula ngayo as i-last born, especially if you have older siblings, as you grow up, khona umuntu that's always looking after you. Always someone there to protect you, to advise you, to make sure ukuthi yonke into yakho i-right. And so you get treated a specific kind of way, and you are used to a specific kind of treatment and a specific kind of lifestyle that you get from your older siblings. Bayakuwashela i-uniform mawuphuma esikoleni, bakubrushela iy'cathulo, wena uyibhrashe iy'cathulo ngoba ubhuti bakho omdala, usisi wakho omdala does that. So lento iqala usamncane, where nje there's always someone looking after you. Mawusukhula ungena ko-varsity again or college or wherever, khona ubhuti omdala, usisi omdala, or you are always treated differently as i-last born. Ama-responsibilities amaningi athwala yilawa abadala now. So obviously ikhona i-spoilment ezoba khona lapho. And so sometimes then when you get into a relationship or a marriage, because you have not there's never been an expectation yokuthi ulide kwizinto ey'ningi, uthatha ama-responsibility kwizinto ey'ningi, because nje you've always been sheltered and protected, then you're going to have that expectation from ipartner yakho, and ipartner yakho izobuka naye ukuthi hayi bo, manje le ngane ewumuntu omdala ekumele mina like i-expects ukuthi mina ngizenza lokhu nje, ihlezi ifonela uma, ihlezi ifonela ubaba, ihlezi ifonela ubhuti omdala, like kwenzakalani lana. So I do agree that as i-last born, we are treated differently. Like nje I can say even indaba yomshado, like mina nje ekhaya bayangitshela ukuthi awudingi wena ukuthi ushade, or like ungayibekeze izinto ey'bhedayo. So already sesinaleyo ukuthi nje settle for into ebhedayo or whatever, because nje uyi-last born uphathwa njengeqanda, uyiqanda. Kanti-ke when you get out into the world and you're dealing and interacting nabantu and you're getting into a relationship, obviously you're not going to have the same treatment abakutreat-a ngayo ama-siblings akho amadala. Things are going to be different. So ngilapho mina.
So kahle kahle inina laba entetemayo kwama-relationships Inina last born entetema. A small fight, small argument, small thing that happen ku relationship. Senatetema ke manje umuntu kusekumele ubumqubula ke manje umbeka la ehlombe kumcule ngoba manje lo muntu last born and ubethola yonke le treatment kobhuti bakhe, ethola yonke le treatment kuma wakhe noma kubaba wakhe, ephathiswa njengeqanda and then umuntu ulindelele ukuthi abe umama umuntu sekulindele ukuthi abe umama-ke manje kwakhe umuntu usebonakala useyingane.
I mean, no comment, but yeah, I mean, again, if ukhuliswa in a particular way,
Yeah,
Leon, it's gonna affect you, in the long run. You're gonna be treated, and again, you're also going to be sheltered, like in terms of abantu nakhona abantu ozobe ushada naye, your siblings obviously are gonna scrutinize ukuthi ubani
yeah,
okuthinganya umfana wakephi lona or lo ntombazana wakephi. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny because again you've been raised by abantu and you've again had a certain type of treatment that you now
yeah,
expect. But again, abantu abafani obviously. I know another thing abantu abayisho ngama last born ukuthi we are very irresponsible. Because again, most of the times cooler, there's always someone looking out after
yeah,
us, doing for us. Ukuthi responsibility. Asizwa kahle hle, there's
yeah,
someone who's bail us out. If usenkingeni, khona ubhuti omdala, khona usisi omdala, uyafona, yabo, is this sort of situation. So you never really find yourself in a situation where inkinga ibheke wena, awunamuntu ozomfonela, ngeke la ukhale anywhere nje. It's a different type of way, like ukuthi there's always someone out there, like mina ngiyazi ukuthi if khona into eyenzakalayo mina nosisi yomdala nobhuti abawu-2 abadala ngeke nje ngibe inkinga.
Hey madoda, umuntu
I-privilege
one-backup.
eboni.
So when will you date or will you marry a guy who is a last born too?
No.
How? How?
I would probably marry.
Nje now ukuba selfish lokho, you're a last born but you don't wanna be in relationship or get married to someone else who's a last born.
Yeah, because I'm a personality traits azobefana nawami, so that's going to be a dangerous situation. Whether kuba khona umuntu o responsible. No, I mean I am responsible. What I'm trying to say is you also need to make sure, Wuti, when you are choosing a partner, you are obviously looking at certain characteristics. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would marry a firstborn, maybe a middle child, because I'm a firstborn, I named Ozao. And we're gonna get into that, but I don't think I would marry a lastborn because I know they would have similar character traits as me, and I fully adore.
So if nobody is a last born, so there will be no strongest link because nobody two niyatetema. Mawutetema uzothi mebuka wena etetema wena you are expecting him to control you noma akubambe ukhampani naye athi mekuwavela akhale naye abe emotional mase niyakhala noma uthi kuvele kube isekhala room straight.
King Angela, King.
So,
But yeah, but again, I think abantu abafani, it depends
yeah,
on how you've been raised. So like you can be a last born and Kini, you've been taught irresponsibility, you've been taught to begazela, you've been taught
yeah.
service, etc. So again, it also depends on how you were raised as umuntu. That's
Mm.
the truth, yeah.
Yeah, the comment from Unqobile Zindela, it's similar to what you just said now. Uthi wathi Nqobile firstborn ine pressure eningi yonke into ibheke yona. Lastborn is spoiled. Thatha ophakathi nendawo mntase.
Yeah. And now,
Sasanenkinga.
yebo.
Ngithi sasanenkinga bo. Thina ama-first born kuthiwa sine-pressure, ama-last born spoiled.
Yeah, I'm a firstborn. One thing that I've noticed, and a lot of people that I've spoken to who marry ama first, bayakhala ngoba ama firstborn, they are raised to always look after abantu, after the family, and they carry, umdeni on their shoulders, and they spend their time trying to better the family. They are
Yeah,
the backbone of the family. And sometimes what happens then when you are now courting someone or marrying someone, lo muntu needs attention and they need you to invest in what you have in terms of the relationship. And so when investment yakho is only towards your family and not the relationship, obviously the relationship is going to suffer. Um, and so it's very, very um, difficult in that sense to marry a firstborn, because a firstborn ihlezi inama responsibilities emele iwabheke ekhaya. They are always paying back, and sometimes they neglect paying forward in terms of the new family that they now have, because ekhaya basadinga lokhu, basadinga lokhu, basadinga lokhu. So I know that it's very challenging when you are married to a firstborn, because they prioritize their family. And another thing, the family, if bengakufuni usenkingeni, because nawo bayakubona ukuthi lo girl lo ngena la ekhaya usezothatha imali yethu kahle kahle, because thina siphila nge-firstborn. Manje le slay queen esesifika la ngamawivi, and then that can cause tension between his family and your family. And obvious, as unkosikazi uzoyikhulumela imali yendoda yakho, you're gonna say, how ushonephi u-5,000 indoda, hayi nguhambise ekhaya. It's gonna cause those issues. So if it's Bonnie, they're responsible, they are generally very good with money, prioritizing izinto, they save na yonke leyo nto, but family is a big problem.
yeah. Well, it's very true, and they show because I'm also looking to my comments la from the post. Most about 85% of comments, it's all about I'm a firstborn. I have Unolwazi Ndaba la saying firstborn is a deputy parent and lastborn are spoiled. B, and then bangaqhubeka-ke, so we all know what is spoiled bread, and then mama's baby. Ngagcina leli gama mama's baby. Omirapelike or mama's baby. They must what, I'm just joking. They are too soft and want things to go their ways. Always. Is that true?
It's 95 true.
Yo, 95% true. That's true, Pele. Why would you 95%? Because that's true. And then Usanele Ubesetti true. And then I asked the question, so you never experienced any, what I am currently married to a firstborn. That's Haranabek. Then he said, she said, all right, okay. Sometimes the pressure is too much, but hey, there is nothing we can do. Family is family. You can't just throw them away. It's more difficult if you got married while you were the breadwinner. Still in. You just have to draw the line. Yo, iyona-ke bafethu izinto esenza ukuthi singashadi-ke lezi ngoba nilibe nisibuze nxe ushada nini, nxe ushada nini. These are the things esenza ukuthi singashadi. We are breadwinners bafethu, everything ibheke thina. So siyak-afforda ukushada, amalobolo siyawa-afforda, but the problem is the background. So ngicela ukuthi bear with us guys, nisibekezelele soshada. Soshada noma ngabe kuthiwa shada sina-45, but ekugcineni soshada. And then masewathi unolwazi, and you have to do things willingly from depth of your heart. other than that you feel burdened. Sure, yabona-ke le eyama-last born iyona-ke ethanda ukuba nzima. Unqobile is saying I can't hear anything because of this weather. Awumira ngeke ungayikhulumi imali yendoda imali yendoda yakho. Well, guys, okay, asenze kanje. I want to put my comments and see if I can relate to any, but mina I relate kakhulu to in being a firstborn. I mean, yeah, firstborn. Even though na-ke nkosi yami ke ngingenayo ke nkosi yami kodwa kulungile ke ngoba before phela ke. Usalele uthi I'm married to a firstborn and due to some family stuff she ended up taking care of her siblings, raising them and taking them as her responsibility. Ushadile njalo lo muntu. Sometimes the burden of being the firstborn weighs heavy on her because she genuinely cares for her siblings. Yo, ngiyayizwa ke le. It was hard for her to leave home because she felt like they won't be well taken care of if she's not there. Eish, lo muntu unenhliziyo yami. So it's hard for some of them to leave home emotionally. That's why I'm still at home. But my wife is very responsible as a result of being the firstborn. She can do everything because she had to take care of her siblings, but they can be very responsible and they take responsibility for what needs to be done. But they can also be harsh because the parents were harsh on them. Childhood trauma, kodwa ama-last born elami li-right. Okay, well guys, I think I relate into everything eshiwo Mr. Sanele la uGumede umfowabo Gumede. I relate. You know, number one, angikhulume nje into yokuhlala ekhaya. You know, mina Mirabel, ngokwami my plan was to when I'm 28. Kakhona u28 ngase ngimdala. Ngangithe on the age of 25 I want to leave ngiyohlala somewhere else. I can afford that. By the age of 25 I said I want to buy my first car. I can afford the motor. I can afford my to build or buy my own house. I can afford to rent a flat. Zonke lezi zinto that I've always wanted, of which I haven't achieved. It's not that ukuthi I can't afford them. I do afford those things. The thing is, I am a last born. I mean, I am a firstborn. And I am 85% breadwinner. Meaning, I do most of the things. I do all things, but it's only if ngibona ukuthi sengipintshe kakhulu, and then I will ask my mom, okay, ma, vele you got no income etheni, please assist lapha nalapha kulezi zinto eziwu-2 just ukuthi ngikwazi ukuphefumula la, assist lapha nalapha, yabo. So every time I wanna leave, I always think ukuthi if I leave, will I be able to buy igrocery la ngiyohlala khona negrocery ekhaya? Will I be able to pay ugesi wala ngihlala khona ngibuye ngithenge futhi ugesi wala ekhaya? Will I be able to do all these things by myself la ngihlala khona and come back again la ekhaya to the bills which are almost over 4,000 every month? You see, so that's always hinders me. You know what? Even if I do like ukuthi ngithi no, I need to live by myself, move out at home, gimdala, yes, but now I can't. I do afford, but I can't because of my background. That is why I always say kungcono if uzoba umuntu oyi-breadwinner and then someone comes up to help. So yonke le ususebenzile awuthi ngikuthwesa umthwalo, let me take over now, yabo. So for me to achieve all these things, I'm waiting upon my 2 younger brothers, yabo, because until baze basebenze babe grand now, then yila khona engizokwazi nami ukuphuma hambe ngiyohlala kwami, ngibe ne-freedom, yabo. Because I don't want to lie, guys, yabona ukuba i-firstborn akumnandi, especially uzoba i-firstborn ezoqhamuka ekhaya elingekho stable, because phinde futhi nomzali wakho ube khona umzali ozohamba like ubaba. You need to close that gap before you even lay your own foundation. You need to close that gap first, because you can't build a foundation of yourself kusakhona iy'nkinga back home, especially ubaba wakho angakwazanga ukuthi ayi-attend. Yabo, so leyo nto iba yi-burden ngale ndlela ey'nkinga. Igcina isiyenze njani, as much as it is training us ukuthi sibe abantu aba-responsible, sibe abantu aba-strong, sibe abantu aba-wise, because le y'nkinga esingena kuzona as ama-firstborns zigcine sezisinika umqondo wokwazi ukucabanga, zigcine sezisinika umqondo wokwazi ukuhlela the future. You know, they give you wisdom. The result is always wisdom. Yabo, as much as it gives us wisdom, but at the same time ziyasilimaza.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, Mirabel, mase kuthiwa ngicabanga ukushada manje? I won't be able ukuthi, it will be very difficult for me ukuthi ngihambe ngiyokwakha umuzi nomngami. Ngibe ngazi ukuthi ngisazobuyela futhi back le ekhaya financially. Uyabo? So ugcina usilimaza ama-plans akho. Ugcina usuthi, okay, you know what, I'm gonna build a house, outside building, and then for a while me and my wife so behlala le ekhaya. So now what will happen is my wife won't have a freedom, because ngimshade sahlala ekhaya, not kwami. So kunezinto azoba limited ukuthi azenze, yabo, ngobani usekhaya akekho kwakhe. So those are the other challenges abantu besifazane abangabhekana nawo if they get married to ama-firstborn, especially ama-firstborn anjengathi. Sometimes you do get ama-firstborn, uthole ukuthi umuntu uyi-firstborn kubo, as much as a breadwinner, but there are some upcoming mhlawumbe siblings abasafundayo, abaqeda ukufunda basebenze. Uyabo, so for us esekuphele over 10 years siyibambile, singakabi nantshebe, saba ama-breadwinner, singakabi nantshebe, sesamile iy'ntshebe, sasayidala, sasayigunda zamila, saza, uyabo, kwashintsha okhala mhlawumbe okhala baba bawu-4 bey'ntshebe. Yabo, silibe siyibambile. It's very, very difficult for us. And most of the time, abantu abane-stress, abantu abane-depression, abantu abane-burden, abantu abangekho right mentally, it's people who are abama-firstborn. Because sometimes another thing, Mirabel, that happens ukuthi ube yi-firstborn ungabi nayo inhlanhla yomsebenzi, kuze kuba umuntu a mid child ethola umsebenzi, kube iyona eyondlayo ekhaya, esizayo ekhaya, hayi not eyondlayo, esizayo ngoba isekhaya la. Yabo, so esizayo ekhaya wena uyi-last born awukwazi. Leyo nto iyakwenza ukuthi ulimale futhi. Yabo, iyakwenza ukuthi ulimale, because now you have someone ongaphansi kwakho osizayo ekhaya, wena ukhona umdala. Uyabo, so leyo nto sorry,
why uthi osizayo ongondli indaba uthi uyasiza kondli?
Because I'm a child mina le ekhaya, I'm a son. So
yeah,
uma sengikhulile, uNkulunkulu esengiphila amandla, abazali bami sebebona, sebefuna amafruit alezinto abangifundise zona, abangikhulisa ngazo, ngeke ngikwazi ukuthi ngondle uma mina, because uma uyangizala, uma ungikhulisile, uyena ongenze ngaba yilento engiyiyona. So angikwazi ukuthi ngiyondle ekhaya, so ngiyasiza, kumele ngiyenze lento ngoba ngiyingane le ekhaya. Then mase ngisuke kwami, sengisukile le ekhaya ngaya kwami, la ngisupporta khona unkosikazi wami. Yes.
So if uthi uyasiza awondli, amandla okusiza mangase asuswe angabi khona, bazokwazi ukuthi baphile without amandla akho?
Ileyo nto na Mirabel engifuna ukuthi ngiyibalekele. Kona vele siyondla, yes, kona vele siyondla, but lelo kondla liyasinda and likhulu, yes, likhulu. So that is why ngithi uyasiza, and futhi wenza into ephoqelekile ukuthi uyenze ngoba ikini, uyabo, because now kuyenzeka lento esho, kuyenzeka, uyabo, iyenzeka vele ukuthi
ngicela inkinga yami la, angisho as i-last born, ningangithathi ekhaya guys, mina ngiyayithuma imali, so nje angiyenzi lutho kubo. But I don't want people to say because ngi-sports ngi-lost sport, no. But i-point lami ukuthi or umbuzo wami ukuthi i-responsibility njengoba uthi kuyinto kumele siyayenza. Is that really the case? Kumele yini ngempela ukuthi sisize or sondle ekhaya as izingane?
Yes, kuyadependa Mirabel, kuyadependa. Yabo nje like for mina kuyangiphoqa and kuyangikhomba because I'm the only person osebenza imali ekwazi ukwenza zonke izinto ezidingakalayo ekhaya.
But
So
irresponsibility eyabani yokondla? Eyethu ezingane.
angithi phela umzali oyedwa okuyena kumele ngabe uyondla akasekho emhlabeni, washiya ngisemncane. Lo munye umsebenzi uyazi nawe isimo somnotho sinjani. Mhlawumbe I think she's working 2 days a week. So leyo mali ngeke ikwazi ukuthi isondle leyo mali, mhlawumbe ugcina ngokuthenga isinkwa, mhlawumbe yabo nje nokuthi abe nemali. So mina I'm the only person who gets imali ethanda ukuthi ikwazi ukucover everything that is needed. Uyabo? So
Yeah.
for me
And again,
kuyangiphoqa.
angifuna ukukhuluma specifically to you, but to us as a black culture right now. You look at amanye cultures or amanye races, lento yokuthi siyasiza or siyondla
They
I
don't do
exist.
it.
It's
Yeah.
only in us where we have that responsibility. And if we had to look back in terms of culture, and I think maybe that also ties to Lama Topics 8 to about fathers, Nayonke Londo. But if you look back in terms of culture, Indoda was the head and was the provider. Ubaba
Yeah.
nje, ubaba yena owayeprovide. And Ubaba used to pass inheritance, whatever that inheritance was, whether it was land or inkomo, whatever, to the son. There was that forward Tina situation backwards. So it's not the case ukuthi we are normalizing into engekho right. Saying ukuthi no, kahle kahle kumele kube siyondla. Are we not normalizing something that is not supposed to be happening to begin with?
Yeah, what a good question, Mirabel. That's a very good question. Well, that thing is, Mirabel, I'm not sure it's very right. Because the reason why you raise a child ukuthi one day ibe independent, must independent, ibe ikwazi ukuthi ibe responsible. You raise a child, especially umuntu ingane yentombazane, uyirayizela ukuthi masifikile ku destiny yayo emshadweni kwayo ifike ikwazi kuba umama. When you raise a son, you raise a son also futhi building an empire or a legacy, because a son will always move with your brand, with your name, whatever you call it. So when you raise a son, you raise him ukuthi ayimele one day. So the thing is with us black culture ukuthi we don't prepare for a future. That is why ubone ngathi sesinormalize indaba yokuthi noma ngabe usuyahamba ukiphi la ukhona, you need to always go back home uyosiza uyokondla ekhaya ekubeni usunomndeni wakho noma ufuna uqala umndeni wakho. Thina we don't prepare for a future. The other cultures, this is what they do, especially abelungu, because I know from them. Abelungu ingane ithi zalwa Mirabel. Okay, once weza umama ukuthi usekhulelwe kuyaqala, okay, after excitement kuba khona indaba yokuba serious, hlale phansi. Okay, ingane izozalwa una how many months? Ngina 3 months. All right, we need ukuthi senze lokhuza, we need to ukuthi sivule account yale ngane le. From that day ezozalwa ngayo le ngane every month soyifakela u500 up until izibe no 18 years. Le mali ayihlangene nemfundo, le mali ayihlangene nani. Le mali eyale ngane sizoyibekela imali lengane 500 every month until izithi 18 years. Once yathi 18 years, kulezinye iy'mali zethu sizokhipha imali ihambe ofunda. Makubuye ofunda igraduator, sithe sikhipha le mali le. Siyayinikeza-ke manje. Angithi siyifundisile ukuba responsible, sayifundisa ukuyimela. So sekumele si-truste iy'fundiso zethu-ke manje. Siyahamba siyokhipha le mali, mhlampe let me say uzobeka u-500 every month for 18 years. Okay, because kuba khona ne-interest. Let me roughly say, okay, 2.5 million. 2.5 million nayo imali. Uyahlala Nxewu usuna 21 ugraduate-ile manje usufuna umsebenzi. Sekuyisikhathi sakho sokuthi uyimele-ke manje sikubona ukuthi uyindoda. Nawu 2.5 million osakubekela wona eyakho le mali. It's up to you ukuthi wena wenze njani. If uyayibhubhudla le mali, kumele wazi ukuthi okwakho, you are on your own. So that ubone lezinye iy'nhlanga izinto uhamba nemali abanye, most of them kuba age of 18 years. Hamba lokhuza ahlale eflatini athole umsebenzi, ngesikhathi athole umsebenzi, okay, vele nginemali ngine-backup, enze njani? Hamba uthatha ibhondi, vele une-backup imali anikwe abazali bakhe. Hamba uthatha ibhondi, abe nomuzi wakhe, asheshe ashade, futhi abaloboli-ke futhi labantu. That is why you will find umlungu una-23 khaladi na-28 lishadile hlala kwalo. Uxakeke ukuthi umuntu una-25 ucelebrate i-anniversary ya-4 years, kodwa una-25 lo muntu. Why? Baprepayelwa bezalwa besebancane. Kubalekwela yona lento leyo ukuthi umuntu athe sekwakhe sekumele abuye back aye kubo. So thina siyazalwa singaprepayelwa lezi zinto lezi, unless kuba ukuthi mhlawumbe uzozalwa ekhaya eli-right-ke financial. Even though amakhaya right financially, they also don't prepare for the future, but for the fact that ukuthi ba-right, bayakwazi ukukusupporta until uze uyosebenza. Thina siphuma emakhaya ngoba sesisebenza.
Yeah.
Because
And
yeah.
I think le nto ishoyo ibalulekile because we need to start understanding ukuthi we have gotten into a place where we've normalized izinto ezingekho normal.
Yeah.
You look at
True.
ama groups, other cultures, uyabona ukuthi no, lento iyenzeka, where families can prepare for the future for iy'ngane zabo, and then
Yeah.
iy'ngane zabo are in a much more better position mase seyikhulile to start off. So for example, mhlambe uma usuna 21 uthengelwa imoto or utholelwe i-apartment or
Yeah.
bakhokhele, so you don't have to deal with paying back amaloni or whatever the case is. But I think a lot of things that we see, like black tax, where we then say, hey, I know, kumele unakekele umndeni wakho, and I get it. If your family inganakho ukudla, it's not right to leave them and allow them to starve, you know.
Yeah.
It's a right thing to do, but akumele futhi sinormalize izinto ezingekho normal. We need to also look at izinto and see the gaps, and then think, you know what, for the next generation, how are we going to change this? Because this happened to me, but now for each generation elandelayo, we need to break this curse where my children um are not going to be looking after me financially. Mina kumele as a parent iy'mele, and then I need to pay forward to my kids. Where iy'ngane zami, as soon as they turn 18, or once they're done with varsity, ngikwazi ukubatholela i-flat, ngikwazi ukubathengela imoto while they're starting off in life. So we ignore ukuthi sinenkinga in the Black community, and we need to then have a way forward. How do we fix it so that we do not become, I don't want to use the word burden to ingane, but I see we are abantu who now, hey, my kids are going to be like, yo, uma nkosi yami thumela imali ngoba uma anayo imali yokudla. I don't want my child to have to go through that, so we need to start fixing this zinto basically.
Yeah, that's true, Mirabel. Because look, lento isho is very true ukuthi abazali should into engabe bayayenza when we decide to move out, ibona ngabe bayasiza ngokuthi okay, you know what, na imali, na imoto, na lithezi, while usaphansi usenza nje bona ukuthi umisa kanjani. Na iCorolla faka le moto kwi-Uber and then you get maybe 1 or 2,000 a week ku-Uber, get someone to grab noma zidrivele wena ufake imoto kwi-Uber, get a flat and then imali ezosala kule mali oyenzayo do something ezogcina ukuthi ukhiphe uphila and then ukwazi ukuthi uphile wenze imali and then make a profit to open or start another business for you to have extra money and then have ama-savings and then when you feel or you see ukuthi you are fit and then start thinking of planning to start your own family because yabo Mirabel, if thina sizwe simnyama we can normalize starting families in a young ages, we can be successful. We can be successful. Because Mirabel, look, yabona ibu mina I always say ukuthi if mina kuthiwa nginomfazi, mina kuthiwa kube nomfazi, ziningi izinto engabe nginazo. Because lento yokuba i-breadwinner yangenza ngaba responsible kwaze kwaba over. I can't do anything else because I always think ukuthi what if, yabo, noma kukhona imali engiyibekayo eceleni ngiyibeka le mali ngiyibekisa ukuthi yes kuyangisiza because I always save money. Mhlawumbe nje it's like a lump sum of money ngiyibeka eceleni for rainy days. Because you think of it, rainy days will come. There are things, unforeseen events. Yabo, we paying, like I'm paying for 3 policies for my family, for my kids, and extended family. Yabo, sengi over responsible man. Mhlambe kube nginonkosikazi, unkosikazi ubezosho ukuthi no babe. When you are responsible for me and the kids. You're not responsible for cousin cousin loyal, yabo. But mina because sengaba lento yokuba responsible siyaba sekhanda yagcina ngathini angazobe kanjani isingikhubaza because bafethu the truth is ukuba responsible kuyakhubaza. Ukuba responsible kuyakhubaza because you can't do when izinto ezizokujabulisa because you always thinking ukuthi le mali le ngingenza ukuthi that's how I'm living mina. Ukuba responsible kuyangikhubaza, yabo. 2 years back I almost bought a car. But I said no, I can't. Why? Ngasuke ngabuka ama-expenses emoto. Ngabuthi lama expenses emoto lawo. Futhi mase ngimoto senginama-expenses akanje. Into ezokwenzeka kumina ke manje sekuzoxega ekhaya, kuzolekha lapha ekhaya. Uyabo? Of which is wrong. Uyabo? And futhi another thing, I can't run away from it because I can't leave my mother and my siblings to starve. Ngibe ngazi ukuthi there's something coming. Uyabo? So kubalekile bafethu ukuthi siplane, kubalekile ukuthi izinto amaphutha abazali bethu singawaphindi. Awathi thina ke nje our tribe siyawazi amaphutha abazali but still saqhubeka ngawo and then sigcine sesikhotha iBhayibheli sithi hayi sinzalo kaShem, indodana le kaNoah, le uNoah ikhesa yeza ngale Africa. So vele thina abantu abamnyama uNkulunkulu wasikhesa. No, it's our mindset. If you want to change your life, you need to change your mindset. Yabo. And nalento kumele thina abantu abamnyama sengiyathanda ngoba sesiqala ukuthi siyifake emqondweni, sesiqala ukuyithanda even though singayithandi with the context of ngokuba serious noma ngokukhula lento yomshado. Into yomshado bese ngayifundi thina abantu abamnyama. But now sesiyayithanda indaba yomshado. Umshado bafethu singakhuluma sikhulume, umshado uyaqoqana, umshado uya-expanda. Buka abantu abasebenza i-security, ama-security ahola 4.5 ngenyanga. Yes, abanye bethu leyo mali siyihola sometimes a week, abanye siyihola nge-fortnight. But we don't have cars, we got nothing. But kunomuntu ohola 4.5 unomfazi, unemoto utheze. Unomuzi mhlawumbe u-5 or 6 room. Uyabo? It's because ushadile. Uyabo? So we need ukuthi bafethu, especially men, we need ukuthi siyibuke lento siyibuke because it's a serious matter. Imagine if you can start this now, you can save your generation. As much as when you can never eat the good of it, but your children, yabo, kunezinto sozenza thina manje esingeke sibenefit ekuzona, but our children will benefit from them. Like lento esikhuluma ngayo nje namhlanje. Yabona iy'ngane zethu or our children in law, they should be in fear of getting married to iy'ngane zethu ezama-firstborn because of our responsibilities and burdens that ama-firstborn comes with. Lento thina sesibonile thina ukuthi thina siyi-burden manje. Abafazi bethu bayasaba manje. We are attractive to women ngokuthi si-responsible, but wise women aba-observer ngampela, aba-analyzer, bayabona ukuthi hey, yes, he's a good guy, he's responsible, but will I have everything? Because once ngashada mina yonke into engiyenzayo yamfazi wami, so umfazi wami kumele, and guys, kumele yabo nje uMirabel ngoba dash ukuthi kumele siye ukunormalize izinto engazona. Lento Mirabel ukuze ubone ukuthi sesilimele ngoba kutshela ukuthi ukuba responsible thina abantu abamnyama kuyasikhubaza. Unkosikazi afuna ashade. Unkosikazi uma seshadile ngisho kuthiwa i-background yendoda is not right, akuyona indaba yenkosikazi leyo. Unkosikazi uma seshadile, you need a full attention from indoda. Unkosikazi mayethi hayi ngeke le mali le eyale engaka unemvumo naye because imali yakhe. You should not swear. I'm not saying I'm condemning abafazi ukuthi babamba amadoda ukuthi bangondle makubo, no, but what I'm saying is amakhosikazi ethu bafethu asuke naye acabangele wawo umndeni, yabo, because iBhayibheli liyabagunyaza, liyasho iBhayibheli uyoshiya ihlo nonyoko unamathele kumkakho, uyabo. So okwenzeka ekhaya back, wena makuthi usuyoshada, shiya ukhulume nobhuti bakho nosisi bakho makuthi unabo. Bafethu ngiyahamba manje, anyusele amasokisi, anivulele umqondo. Mina ngiyahamba manje ngiyobhekana nomfazi wami. Makuthi already netime la nibheka leli, yabo, lizolamba nikhona. So mina ngiyahamba. So asiyekeni ukuthuka abantu besifazane ngokuthi bathi amadoda bavala amadoda ukuthi abakhiphe imali yemuva.
And yazi iyaxabana futhi because as unkosikazi going into, you know, in-laws, you're obviously joining another family, and if get that family, and let's say example in umyenako has been giving, you know, 5,000 every month, and now you guys have created a family and senengane ingane idinga uye esikoleni, obviously ufuna isikole esi-right for umntwana wakho. Lo 5,000 ophuma la ekhaya siudingela i-school fees. So now ofanele enze i-decision yokuthi lo 5,000 usazoba 5,000 noma mhlawumbe usuzoba 3,000. If lo decide ukuthi sengiyawehlisa u-3,000, kubo bajwayele u-5,000, sebephila ngo-5,000, i-lifestyle yabo ya-5,000, sebedlula ka-Woolworths. Manje shuthi kufanele bashintshe ukudla u-Woolworths bayothenga ka-checkout. Manje inkinga le sebezokubuka-ke wena ezinkosikazi ukuthi thina besiphila kanje, kwafika wena la ekhaya.
Exactly.
Manje sesiphile enye impilo. So iyakhathana as well. Obviously, they're not gonna like you. There's going to be those divisions. Then now, as in daughter, you have to choose between your wife, family. You must leave your father and your mother and cleave to your wife.
Yes.
Now, usu partner now. Like Kaya, so very hard.
No, it's true because and le nto iyenzeka nje kuthina abantu abamnyama kuphela, iyenzeka kuthina nje kuphela abantu abamnyama, yabo, because we don't want to asiwafune amaqiniso. So long as into ibenefita thina, once iyaqala yazolimaza, asibe safuna ukufeyisana nama-facts. Sifuna nje thina, we want to believe in our own truth. Why? Because it benefits us. Uyabo? That is, baningi abantu besifazane abazondiwe abathukiwe bethukelwa into wrong. Just because it makes sense ukuthuka kwabo, it doesn't mean ukuthi it's right. If mina ngishada mina, then ekhaya ngidecide okay bafethu ngoba bengimsendele 3,000 ngizosendela 1,000 manje. And then if my siblings bethuka usisi wami, to anyone olalelayo ukuthi why unkosikazi kaNxewu emthuka, uzoba umtshela ukuthi hayi lo Nxewu kubo bethenga ukudla, imoto ibifika idunuse lapha izoletha igrosa, uNxewu esayedwa manje sekukhona lo mfazi lo akasayilethi igrosa. Olalelayo leyo nto yenza sense, naye automatically will join to ukuthuka unkosikazi wami. Meanwhile unkosikazi wami is securing her own bag, is thinking for her children, is thinking for me also, because vele kumele, even if uthi yena akungaphumi ngisho usheleni uright ikwakhe la, mina I decided to leave my father and my mother and stick to her. So if she says something ethi akunamali ezophuma la ekhaya, yes, she is the queen of the house. Yabo. For the fact that ukuthi mina I'm the king, I'm the one who provides. I can't be providing and then managing at the same time. My wife must be the minister of finance. Yabo. My wife has to be the minister of finance. We need to know that kumele siyifake ekhanda la emakhanda lezinto abantu abamnyama ukuthi unkosikazi kumele abe minister of finance. Ngiyazi ukuthi amadoda amaZulu especially noma amadoda amnyama to say anomqondo wokuthi hey ikhadi lami wallet wami imali yami ayisoze yahlala kumfazi, umthathelani pho umfazi manje imali yakhe ihlale kuyena, because njengoba uthatha umfazi wena ufuna umsizi.
Yeah.
So umfazi njalo ke manje kumele kuncengane nawe baba sicela isinkwa. No, wena makucela into kwena kucela into enkulu. Isinkwa asicele kumama, ukudla akucele kumama, khadi imali ngekho akucele kumama. Umama okumele kube uyena oza kuwena athi baba isiyaphela imali esikhwameni ufake. Uyabo?
Kodwa
Ufake.
iBhayibheli teaches us ukuthi mawushada you become one flesh.
Yeah.
And one flesh when it comes to finances, both ngoba ni one, both parties need to have a say. So as woman, you should be able to say, no, but Baba, 5,000 oyekhaya is too much. We need to one or two, no three, no four. Because say we mali too much. I say only mali and daughter.
Sure.
We are, and I should be able to contribute in saying how things must be done. So yes, the husband is the head, he's the leader, but at the same time, we are one. And
Yeah.
as Nkosikazi, I'm here to help and to build a home for myself and my husband and for our children. So my interest are in the marriage and the family. Ella. I
Yeah.
got the interests are not keen. Ukuthi kini kunjani, no, i-focus yami yala ekhaya, and ila ekhaya comes first. And sometimes when we lose focus and then we focus on izinto ezasemuva, it can create an issue. And again, I know as abantu abamnyama we feel for our family, so I'm not saying ukuthi ngempela ekhaya ma benganakudla, don't send any money home. But at the same, it must be clear ukuthi like higher, this is our agenda, this is how we're going to spend our money. We need to be in agreement, because I've heard of amadoda who will even give imali nkosikazi engazi, athume imali eceleni mase ungasho mhlawumbe ufike endlini kuthiwa hawu siyabonga azi nge-TV, inkosikazi axaka ukuthi hawu khona i-TV oyithengile ongitshelanga nge-TV, yabo. And then the next day they are hiding and they are doing things behind the back of unkosikazi because they are trying to make the family happy. But I understand ukuthi bayamosha umshado by even doing those things.
But yabona Mirabel, on that case, I don't wanna lie. Ngiyayisupporta leyo ndoda. Ngiyamncamela indoda yenza njalo. Leyo
Efihlayo.
ndoda efihlayo izoyisa ukudla kubo. But Mirabel, as long as kuzoba into yeside, maybe that guy has a side hustle or kunama savings. Yabo uma uyindoda Mirabel, akumelanga, yes, angisho ukuthi abantu ababe nama secrets, but when it comes to financially, akumele unkosikazi ayazi yonke imali. If you are earning 30,000, akube khona u3,000 owusaveayo unkosikazi angawazi. Should it be like kuyenzeka ukuthi mhlambe singene ezikweletini kuba khona into eyenzakalayo, windoda unomgodla wakho oyodonsa kuwona because you are a man. If you are kunemali kuno 1,000 owutshontshayo Mirabel uhambisekini engazi unkosikazi, for me it shows ukuthi unkosikazi wakho uyamhlonipha, uyamlalela. It's wena kunento ekuthintayo ngoba uyasazi isimo sakini. Uyabo? As much as unkosikazi azi ukuthi, ngiyazi ukuthi it's wrong, but Mirabel mfethu, mina lo indoda yenza njalo ngiye ngibone ngazi ukuthi at least yabona ke lo ungcono lo at least mfethu ubalekelani, ubalekela ukuthi umndeni wakho ungamthuki, uprotect unkosikazi wakhe, uyamprotect ukuthi abangasho ekhaya ukuthi sengishadile ke imali angisayilethi, angilethe ke leyona le encane le ngilibe ngitshontsha noma engazi unkosikazi wami. Why? Wenzelani? Wenzela ukuthi aqhubeke unkosikazi abukeke kahle, unkosikazi angayitsheli ukuthi mhlawumbe angazi noma angayitsheli kunemali eyiphumayo, abone ngathi unkosikazi yonke into ihandlisho yena. Yena uyasazi isimo sakubo, ingakho etshontsha lo 1,000 ewisa kubo engazi unkosikazi. Protecting igama lankosikazi.
But Nxewu, emshadweni once wavula umnyango wokuthi khona izinto engiyifihlayo, that is a problem. Emshadweni you're not supposed to be hiding izinto from your spouse. So guys, lento isho ukuthi you need to have a fund for a rainy day. Khona la fana uphonse khona.
Yeah.
But it's not right to do it in secret because that means that one, you clearly don't trust your partner fully when it comes to izinto zethu, and two, you are comfortable with lying and not being truthful to your spouse. That is not right. If you feel like unkosikazi wakho, maybe they're not good with managing money, that's where you lead as indoda in getting the family where they need to be in terms of image. But hiding money from your wife, because let me tell you something, abantu bakini, they're gonna catch ukuthi wena unkosikazi akazi, and let me tell you, when they see her bazomhleba ukuthi lo akazi ukuthi ubhuti usasithumela imali ukwenza ngeke bamhloniphe unkosikazi wakho. Ngiyakutshela mina ngumuntu wesifazane, ngiyazi abantu besifazane banjani, yabo nje bayobe bemhleba unkosikazi wakho bethi nje lona nje imali ubhuti uyasinikeza akazi, ugedi nje siyamfihlela mbuke. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
Nawe mfethu awukwazi ukuthi ungavela uhambisa imali kubonakala ukuthi unkosikazi akazi, uyabo. As much as you are protecting ukuthi bangamthuki, but also you need to protect ukuthi bangaboni ukuthi akazi, ngobani kuzogcina sekwenzeka lento eyishoyo. Because at the end of the day Mirabel, you are as a man, amaqhinga akho now to try to balance izinto, uyabo. So hayi ukuthi mhlambe you are opening mhlambe igap nje ukuthi usathana ngene for dishonest, no. Ukuba indoda njalo, uma uyindoda uhlezi unamaqhinga, because when you need, uma uyindoda you need to always have plans, you need to always think ahead, yabo. That's why you are a provider, kuyaphoqa ukuthi wenze njalo. Uma uyindoda think ahead, indoda ibe namaqhinga, indoda ithi hlela ibicabanga lapha, uyabo.
But then
So
is because mina for as a solution, I think a better solution would be to say before nshada, you have the money, uyasho ukuthi okay ekhaya ngihambisa u-2000
That's very important.
khokha lokho. So at least mayengena u-wife uyazi une-understanding, like she can say yo I'm not comfortable ngo-2000 or I am comfortable ngo-2000.
Yeah.
And that's a better starting point than to say hayi angihambisi imali ekhaya nayi bank statement yami kodwa kodwa une-secret account angazi ngayo. Hayi no, angivumi. Ningazifihle nje imali. Dear future husband, do not have a secret account.
Kahle kahle sisiza nina thina ukuthi ningathukeki ngoba phela gcine bazonithuka and
Bazosihleka bazosihleka still, bazozibuka uthuma imali lo akazi. Kuyafana nje, bazosihleka bazosithuka vele abasifuni ngoba phela sesishade ne-breadwinner, sesoqeda imali ye-breadwinner vele nje sikuma-bad books singena nje. So already vele nje abasifuni, but I prefer at least i-transparency ibe khona ngoba once umuntu eseseqale afihle imali yini futhi ungezokufihla ngoba phela sesingena kwi-culture manje yokuthi siyafihlelana, qala ngemali.
ilapho-ke indaba-ke
Yabo
indaba
nje
ilapho ngicabanga ukuthi ngoba ufihla mase ucabanga ukuthi hayi mhlawumbe yini-ke enye azoyifica ezoyifihla hhayi ngoba efihla ngoba ufihla ngoba he's trying to make means of ilokhuza i-peace yabo. Umuntu wesilisa bathi unjalo yabo, umuntu wesilisa nje unjalo.
how would you feel, Nxewu, if your wife did the same thing? So your wife had a secret account. Nikhulumile nathi nayi account nayi imali engiyitholayo kanje kanje kanje, and then you find out that your wife has a secret account and kuleyo account uthuma 3,000 every month kubo and usave imali khona imali ayibekayo ongazi wena ngayo. How would you feel?
Mara Ben, why you always you like to feminize bethu
Lula.
lento engiyenzayo I'm doing it because ngiyindoda yabo, kumele ngiyenzile.
Nkosikazi wakho
Wena njengomfazi yonke imali efikayo kumele ihlale la etafuleni ukuthi baba nayo imali. Yes, njengomfazi baba nayo imali and then leyo mali izohlala kumina uma kuthi siyasebenza soba u-2, then-ke the most of the money iphindela kuwena futhi njengobani, njengonkosikazi. Then mina-ke ngoba ngiyasazi isimo sakho, ngesikhathi siqala sihlangana wangibekela isimo sakho nami ngakubekela esami, because enye yezinto lezo masiya out guys, sikhiphana siya out sisashelana asingafike sikhamise kuphela sidle laphana. Amantombazane yinini kakhulu enithanda ukuya ama-days. Musu ufike lapha ufike uyela ukuyodla laphana kusuke kuyokhulunywa but sisuke siya kwi-meeting ine-style. Why? Because we are trying to impress you guys, because umuntu wesifazane you always need to impress her. So manifika lapha abantu besifazane musanifike nishaye i-content nishuthe nidle kuphela lapha kusuke kuyokhulunywa ukuthi nje sisuke siyokhuluma in a style because sifuna uku-impress yabo. So mina as a man I need ukuthi ngigweme, ukuze ngizogwema lento mina engizobe ngiyenza. Mina I need ukuthi ngikukhulule ngithi mama, because wena uthi kanje shuthi emholweni wakho wena lo holo wena thatha 2,000 uyise kuma wakho. That is to be a man. Kule mali le eholo yena umama mesebenza mkhulule wena ndoda ukuze wenze njani. Angithi wena yabo Mirabel, if you're a man the first thing it's wisdom. If you are a man, ingakho mina ngiyazi ukuthi lapha abanye bazongiphikisa ngento ngisho Mirabel, mina ngithi it's okay ukushada nomuntu wesifazane oweyisayo noma okuhlaza. That is okay as long as you are a man. Wena ndoda une-wisdom, you can always be able ukwazi ukuthi lo muntu lo umtreat-a kanjani, lo muntu umhandlisha kanjani, lo muntu mase kuvukile ukuhlanya kwakho yabo. Yazi Mirabel, there are a lot of people esibathandayo esibayekile ngoba bakuhlaza. There are a lot of people esibathandayo esabayeka ngoba nabakwazi ukupheka. When you look at these things, izinto lezi engalungiseka, akekho umuntu wesifazane no perfect. Uyabo? So lento le mawuyindoda, especially uyi-first born, you need i-wisdom. I-wisdom iyona nto oyidingayo. Unkosikazi wakho uma wazi ukuthi kubo umthathe, uwazi kahle ukuthi ube i-breadwinner, before aze enze lento ozoyenza wena, mkhulule ukuthi hey mama, kule mali oyiholayo thatha u-2,000 uhambise ekhaya. Yabona-ke lapho usuyivalile lento abe nemali eceleni yabo, because usebenzisa umqondo. That's how you need to be umuntu indoda nje futhi mehlezi neplan. Mirabel, uyabona makuthi wena ndoda wenza into owazi kahle ukuthi unkosikazi mase eyibambe ingaba wrong, angisho bafethu ukuthi ey'ntweni zokuganga, no, ngishoni mina ey'ntweni zamaqhinga ezizokhava zisekele umndeni. Indoda kumele ihleze ibe neplani yokuthi unkosikazi naye angabi angafikeli lowo mcabango lowo. Unkosikazi vele guys, unkosikazi akabe nayo imali eyifihlile. Mirabel, akukho wrong. Unkosikazi akabe nayo imali eyifihlile laphana, just in case ingane mayithi ifuna ukuhamba nesikole, noma uyabona ukuthi eyubaba kule insuku lezi financial uxinekile, athathe lapha emalini yakhe kwama-savings akhe awafihlile unkosikazi. Lokho it's fine, uyabo, because kahle kahle kuyafana nathi lokho sikwenza samadoda. Thina ukuthi we are saving bigger funds for bigger events because we are men and we are providers.
I think that's the issue. If you are married to someone, again, the Bible says, and the two will become one. You become one flesh. So, seeing day one, wena uyimina, mina nguwena. So, masisifihla, uyifihla kanjani wena? It's like that verse, you know, Ozonda, oh God, I'm paraphrasing now, but basically it speaks about uzonde wena. You know, you can't hate your wife because that basically means uzonda wena. You know, you can't hate your wife because you are then hitting yourself because seni one. So how do you hide money from yourself, kahle kahle? Because that's the concept of one flesh. See one.
Yes, we are one. We are one, Mirabel, but in the spirit we are one. But
Yeah.
ukhumbule ukuthi kulama container ke la esikuona kunezinto zakhona, Mirabel. Yes, kunezinto zakhona, like we can't spiritualize imali. We can't spiritualize imali. Yabona uma uzothatha imali yonke uyinikeze umfazi, mina I always say mina umfazi kumele uhambe u-70% kumfazi emholweni, 70%, u-30% uhlala kumina ukuthi okay le azoyazi ezohlezi ikhona ayazi umfazi, mase kuzoba yile engizoyibeka-ke ngiyifihlele ukuthi mhla kufika a big, a great and unforeseen event, ifike athi ebambe ikhanda athi wemakoda nkosi yami baba kasibani bani sokwenzani ngoba sinamali. Yila khona-ke engipruveka khona ukuthi ngiyindoda, ngivele ngiqhamuke sengithi hayi mama, I will make a plan. Giveaway kusasa sengiyenzile iplan, kanti iplan kade ngayenza. That will make me a man.
No.
Uzobona nkosikazi wami ukuthi hayi cha bafethu ngathola indoda mina la. Yabo. Mirabel, nibuye nifuna ukuya kwama-vacation nina. Yabo. Ngivele ngithi nje kungonakalele ukuthi azi ukuthi umama azi ukuthi imali ayikho la ekhaya. Ngivele ngithi mama siye la eCape Town siyodlala iy'thuthuthi lapha e-desert. Yabo. Axakeke hawu baba kasibani baba kasinakho ngoba ngithi hayi mama sambeni. Yabo, asingaphiki nenkinga. Uma ungaphika nenkinga, why? Unemali oyifihlile laphana. Eyani le mali? Eyokuthokozisa unkosikazi, eyokumjabulisa, eyezimo ey'thize ey'ngase y'qhamuke, eyokuthi nje uyindoda uhlale u-ready.
No, that's where, as a leader, because indoda is called to lead, where ama leadership need to come in when it comes to how finances are done. So if you're saying to me, usabu ukuthi imali izophela, and the solution is then to hide money. No, it's supposed to be, as the leader of the household, wonke umuntu needs to be in line when it comes to imali. So like has no 10,000, now 10,000 wait. How do we make 1,000 sustain us? How do we spend it? Khona ufuna ukuthenga isikhwama se-Gucci, no, ngesikwazi ukuthenga isikhwama se-Gucci, afford to take isikhwama se-Gucci, and then you stand as the man of the house, akufanele usabe ukuleader, akufanele usabe ukucorrect abantu endlini, ubalekele i-conflict ngonkosikazi uzonjani. No, as the leader, you need to lead and you need to make sure ukuthi wonke umuntu like azofika imali ngoba usabu
I don't expect you to understand this. We are women. I don't expect you to understand it. Men will yabo nje mina madoda. Ibani nemali enibekile. Hayi ngoba usaba ukuthi imali izophela, no. Hayi ukuthi usaba ukuthi imali izophela.
why?
But as a man, you need to always ube nemali ezokwenza ukuthi nje just in case something happen. Just
Why le mali-
yabona ngisho uthuka nemali kanjani, nemali amasizini awafani. But nje yabona mawufika mawuvele nje uqhamuka uzo show up isimo sisibi unkosikazi esephelelwe ithemba show up, that makes you a man. You get kunama credit owatholayo lapha, kunama points owatholayo as a man. It's make we men, we like to feel it, we like to see sibonwa si honoring that dot. Yabo, we are men, it's who we are, it's our nature. If someone honorisha noma recognizer ubudoda bakho, kukwenza ube ngaphakathi, kukwenza ube proud as a man. So madoda, mina ngiyasho ukuthi zibekeni imali, mina ngishadile zibekeni imali, ningamnaki uMirabel umuntu wesifazane. We don't want them to vele, we don't expect them to understand land, because thina samadoda we know what we're doing. And niyabona abantu besifazane lento ngiyazi ukuthi abanye bazothi i-topic it's being in relationship with last born first born. These guys are the fruit of ama firstborns. Avuthiwe ama firstborn, afika emshadweni already esevuthiwe, because ama duties awadlalayo, indima ezidlalayo emndenini, they are very big, they are bigger than them. Abenza ukuthi mase befika lapha emshadweni bafike sebefit, sebevuthiwe. So sivuthiwe bafethu, ningasabi ukushada ama firstborn. Ngiyakhumbula khona i-comment lapha, khona uThem kuleya comment utheni konje wathi hey bhuti mina iyangifraza lento, because every time asikwashi nokuphuma thina siye out kancancane, uyafonelwa futhi sicela uphuthumize lana, uthi usasusa enjoy kuba nendoda yakhe futhi sicela, yabo lezo zinto ke yes ziyenzeka because wena we first born. But masushadile kumele ukhulume nomndeni wakho, kumele ube khona ilimit. Awukwazi ukuthi yes wena kuphela othenjiwe kini, but kini you need to make them understand ukuthi usuyindoda yomuntu. Abakwazi ukuthi bakufonele bakufune noma ikanjani noma inini, yabo. So nathi as amadoda kumele sihlale phansi sikhulume nemindeni yethu, siyobatshela, sibenze ba-understand. If they don't understand, leave them. Your priority is your family. I always say this, Mirabel. Sengivala nje sengumfundisi-ke manje. Ngifuna ukusho la mazwi sengivala. Guys, the family that you come from is very important. But the family that you create is your priority. La uqhamuka khona, la uzale khona kini, lo mndeni ubalekile. Kodwa lo mndeni lo wenzile wena wawuqala, lo mndeni comes first, is your priority. Emsebenzini ngisho wenzana ama decision owenzayo kumele ucabange ukuthi nginomndeni. So we need to differentiate between important and priority. Umndeni yethu esazalwa khona, la khona oma bethu, baba bethu, sisi wakhe, they are very important. Even if sesinemndeni yethu lapha esiyenzile, we need to always go look back. Asikwazi ukuthi sithi ngoba sesinemndeni sesinamesela abafazi wethu, don't look back. Yeah, we do look back because they are important. But looking back, your eyes are fixed to the family that you are created. If you want to be a real man, be a family man. Mina fethu, I'm always inspired by my circle. Everyone around me, abantu abathanda umndeni wakhe. My boss emsebenzini, that guy loves his family. My manager emsebenzini, that guy loves his family. My pastor, he loves his family. the leaders I have, ebandleni engikulona, those people, yo, they love their families. The guys, which are my friends, they love their families. Yes, I do have abadlalayo. I from my distance, but syndicately bengaboni. But nje mfethu mina, everyone nje whom that is around me oshadile are people who love their family. So I'm always inspired. Vele nami ngizalwe ngumuntu onjalo. I love family. I believe in marriage. I believe in family. So I was just emphasizing leyo nto nje bafethu ukuthi once you start to think ukuthi okay, once start planning ukuthi I need to start a family, I want to get married, you must know ukuthi i-priority yakho leyo. So ungavumeli abantu bakudistracte from being focused on the family that we have started or created. Sengivalile mina Mirabel. All on to you now.
Interesting debate. Definitely. But yeah, guys, again, there are always exceptions to every rule, but for the most part, these are some of the patterns as well when it comes to my firstborns and my lastborns. But I think the most important thing, or the two most important things, obviously having those conversations at the dates, singadli nje ama-prawns phela, but sibe
Discuss.
parent, and also just making sure that we understand that we need to break some of these, I'd say curses, for the next generation, for things to be better for the next generation. Izinto thinesidlule kuzona, it should not take place, ezinzima esidlule kuzona, it should not take place in the next generation. So we need to make certain choices that prevent izinto that we have gone through esingayithandanga or ebezinzima, so that our children and our children's children don't go through the same thing. Those are my last words. And ningawafihlela amakhosikazi imali.
Madoda ningayilaleli leyo nto, ningayilaleli. Uma uyindoda nje kumele uhlezi unomgodlagodla ogcwalisa kuwona, oyothi mhla linetha izulu umndeni wakho wazi ukuthi usafe and be rest assured as a man. You are a provider. You need to have many plans. A man must be a man of many plans and many, 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 many of them. So, Bafethu, thank you for engaging with us. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't shared the live, please do share the live. Kune comment la engibonile. Le comment it comes all the way from China. From uSpecihle Mfeka, indoda lapha efundisa amashayina ilimi lwengisi. Uthi kunjalo Nxewu, as a firstborn myself, isamile kancane eyami impilo ngenxa yezimo zempilo. Maybe you want to discuss with your co-host the psychological effects of being tasked with such a huge responsibility. I'm thinking about leli verse elithi, to whom much is given, much is expected. Do you now understand? Yabona ke leli verse nale nkulumo Mirabel iphendula lento yakho ekade uyisho ekuqaleni ukuthi njengoba as a firstborn and a breadwinner, do I really need to look after my family and kume yami impilo? I think iphendula leya nto le. Very, very powerful and a profound statement wemfoka Mfeka. Lungile-ke Mirabel, ngiyazi uMirabel uphikisa yonke into, kodwa angisho ukuthini Mirabel, sengiyasho nje ukuthi ubebhekha naye esho from experience yakhe bandla as a firstborn.
I respect his experience, but let's also not look at that scripture out of context, because that meant something different. We need to break the curses holding us down as Black people. That is the main thing. Akumele sithwale imindeni yethu. Like no, it's wrong. Yes, we are in that situation, and angisho ukuthi singondli, but
Yeah.
normalize into engekho normal. Masibuka amanye ama-cultures ayikho lento ikuthina kuphela. That means there's a problem, and historically bingekho ile generation ne-generations yobaba bethu. So fix the problem. Let's not normalize it. So I just justify this. Let's not do that.
Kodwa no, kodwa mina phela umfokamfeka mina ngiyamuzwa ukuthi uyaphi and leli verse alikhophile lihambiselana kodwa nenkulumo yakhe.
Kodwa
Kule
li-alright.
ngxoxo esikhuluma ngayo ivesi phela li-flexible as much as vele we need context, yes, but kulento esikhuluma ngayo mayekhuluma ngiyamuzwa mina ukuthi uthini. To whom is given much is expected. Njengoba unikiwe leyo task onikwe yona, leyo nto kuzo expectwa ukuthi ubuphindise noma udelive njengoba task bakho unike bona. So mina ngiyalizwa leli verse umfokamfeka akakhothanga la out of context. Ukukhothile nje umfokamfeka wahlaba esikhokosini ukube ngazazi ithazane zamfeka ngabe ngakusho mfowethu ngabe ngakusho lapha ulapha koShinjong laphana ko bani laphana mfowethu usikhonzele ko Jackie Chan lapho usho ukuthi ukhonzile umzukulu kaKhathi Sofa umpandla kaJulijuli masebenza athi ikhombisa usho ukuthi ukhonzile ubhodla gqinye ubhagwinye ukhala bamgeza into ezimfuna zonke la eSouth Africa noma esethu usindisiwe hey uncewu inceku NK1 Show every Monday ngo 8 o'clock ngisuke ngila with the most beautiful lady in the world, the feminist Umira Mirabel on the wall. Good night, guys. Love you. See you Monday. Siniphathele part 2 with our special guest Nizobona ngepost. Yako kaningi.